I'm being joined by Mr. Vikram Singh, security expert and former DGP, and also Dr. T.S. Ramakrishnan, railway expert, on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. First, Mr. Vikram Singh, I'd like to come to you. How do you think such an incident took place at one of the busiest railway stations, considering the fact that it is a busy railway station? Unprecedented crowds is one thing, but should the railways not have been better equipped to deal with larger crowds?
Correct observations, I would say that yes, it was crowd that were expected, and New Delhi is one of the most important railway stations in the country and also in the world. I had expected a lot better in the backdrop of what happened on 29th of January at Prayagraj at the Sangam Nose, and we allowed this to happen. And to say that we were overwhelmed by the crowds, we are not paid to be overwhelmed. We are supposed to be prepared and prepared for a worst case scenario, have a backup plan, have contingency plans. And to say that we were overwhelmed, you heard the first-hand accounts of the commuters who said that it was almost a free for all kind of an atmosphere where everybody ventured into wherever the toilets, beginning from the toilets right up to 2-tier, 3-tier, wherever they had the possibility. Platform number 14, 15, the Prayagraj Express, both the crowds converging from the Ajmeri gate side and also the Paharganj side. And what you have now is a tragedy, which I dare say was avoidable. And with better planning, better crowd management, and also movement of the crowds, we have not only the human intelligence that warns us what is the volume of the crowd that is entering, what is the volume of the crowd that is likely to enter the platforms, and also the CCTV and other AI tools that could have forewarned us so that we could have taken adequate preventive measures. But yes, I do hope that an inquiry would be taken so that at least till the Kumbh is on, and I dare say that Kumbh will be exceed the 26th of February, even beyond the Shivratri. Therefore, we have to put our best foot forward and ensure nothing like this is ever repeated now, not only in this Kumbh, but forever there is a crowd collection or wherever there is an arrangement that is required.
Absolutely, sir. But what do you think explains the sparse deployment of the Railway Protection Force at the platforms? Because this is a period of Mahakumbh, like you pointed out, the large crowd is something that the railways should have expected.
I would say that it is something that the crowd does not descend from heavens. A crowd collects, gathers, and moves. We have ample time with both human intelligence, CCTV, and technical intelligence to warn us and guide us so that we navigate ourselves and navigate the crowds in a most professional manner. And get the reinforcements, get the movement, but you have to prepare much in advance, not when the crowds have collected. Once the crowd has collected, once the water has collected, it is difficult to do the corrective measures then. There are contingency plans, and I'm sure railways are equal to the task, but why the RPF, the GRP, and everybody, could not come out with flying colors and give a good account of themselves, that remains to be seen. They're all very professional people. But if there has been a tragedy, we need to understand, and there should be consequences for those who were supposed to give us world-class facilities and world-class movement of passengers.
Absolutely, sir. I'd also like to bring in Dr. T.S. Ramakrishnan into the discussion. Sir, for our viewers' understanding, could you tell us what are the SOPs that are followed while managing massive crowds at railway stations, since such a surge could be expected, could happen at any point?
Yeah, true. This is very unfortunate, but this unfortunate event could have been avoided in the very first instance. So I echo 2 points that was raised by our former DGP. One is the crowding is to be preempted. Once the crowding becomes unmanageable, you can't do anything. Even if police force is applied, it will create more, it can create stampede than curing it. That is first thing. Second thing is that there should be, why there is no stampede in airports, despite the fact that sometimes airports are very crowded, because you know how much people are there, how many people are inside, how many people are, how much capacity their airports have. So you have all the data about that. Whereas railway is not actually keeping that data on real-time basis. There is no data actually. Although AI and other tools have come into existence, and still railway is lagging a lot in managing the crowd. And the second and another point is, I am not going to link it with the Kumbh Mela, because Kumbh Mela is an event. Even in other events, wherever there is a festival crowd, this kind of stampede happens very often. So I am not going to link it with the Kumbh Mela. But our railway stations were designed for the crowd of 50 crore Indian 100 years back. And now, unless now with the same kind of infrastructure, we can't manage the crowd. So that is a problem. So the railway also has to develop the existing brownfield railway stations into with many more platforms, as well as the railway also should go for greenfield railway stations. Without greenfield railway station, when we have developed so many greenfield airports in the last 20 years, what stops us from creating new greenfield railway stations? Because you can't manage people. New Delhi railway station is very, earlier also this has happened. So New Delhi railway station, or for that matter, many railway stations in India are extremely crowded. It is carrying trains and passengers beyond its maximum capacity. So that is the thing. And then there should also be clear estimate on how many people can be accommodated at any point of time inside the station. And without that, if you permit everybody to come inside and then do it, then go inside the platform and then stay there, then certainly the stampede is unavoidable. And the fourth thing is, it is better to have a more reservation-based travel than general compartment travel. Why? The airports permit only the passengers who have their tickets booked in advance. The same thing should applicable to the railway stations also, railway services also, both from the point of view of comfortable travel as well as to avoid these kind of crowds that is accumulating there. Suppose Indian should, at some point of time, India should abolish the unreserved compartment and provide passenger reservation system for all the passengers, irrespective of the social and economic background. So unless otherwise we move towards that, we are not moving towards that. Even recently, the railway ministry has announced that they are going to manufacture 10,000 unreserved general compartment coaches. That is like, we want to become an Vikshit Bharat by 2047. And if we wanted to become the third largest economy in the world, and then how can we allow our people to travel like cattle in the second-class compartments? So that is also a collateral damage in terms of crowding, because you can see the crowding is very much more in the reserved, unreserved compartment than in the reserved compartment. There was a video appearing in the WhatsApp, which shows that some people have entered into the cabin of the loco pilot, and then started after, and then they have locked inside from inside.